Hi, this is a sneak preview of what BIBOP version 2 will be about when it's released, hopefully end of August 2018 this year. It is running right now, so I'm just going to show you, for example, the option chains are and the various indices, SPX, Russell, the ES futures, future for the September expiration, and here's a VIX. Once you are connected here, you just press on connect. You can disconnect. You can check whether your connection to the TWS is working fine. So let's assume it's all good. What you do is that if you say request all data, you will have the option chains with a selection of strikes. At this moment, I'm just selecting a maximum OTM strike of 10% below the money for puts and above the money for calls, and it calculates various information. So at this point, I just want to show you quickly how it looks like and basically how I use it. So if you request all data, it will select all 5 ranges, indices, puts for the expiry 1, which is now the regular September expiry, and the expiry 2, which is the regular now October expiry. So, but you can also select just one range at a time if you want to limit the number of calls to the TWS. So if you want just calls, you just request market data for the calls. I mean, generally, and also in order to capture more information, it's best to actually request all data. There's also a snapshot mode. Snapshot mode, I mean, if you don't go for snapshot, I mean, snapshot is a toggle button. Snapshot basically, if you don't select snapshot, it will be live streaming. If you select snapshot, it's going to be just one snapshot, and you just repeat as often as you want to refresh your data. So this is how it looks. Now, because I chose the maximum OTM strike, and as you can see, there are lots of comments on the spreadsheet itself. So some strikes have been skipped, and I'm just selecting 10%, which is 25.75 at the moment, and all the way to about 2,900. So that's about 1 to 2% above the money for the puts. So I've selected everything. I retrieve all sorts of information. Also, basically the mid prices here for the puts, and the IV as reported by IB. And I do calculate my own using a very simple algorithm to extract IV out of the options formula. As you can see, it's quite similar. So at the moment, we are in very low IV, 850 ATM, and for example on 2850, my calculated IV is 885, and the one reported by IV is 875. And if I go to option view, it's going to be for September 8.6. So all these calculations are correct. So a few interesting pieces of information that we can derive also is basically that I calculate the rates. The rates come from a web query, which is available on the rates page. And I'll calculate a synthetic forward for the expiries being analyzed, being studied. So at the moment we are on very low. I mean, the spot is 28.59, and the forward is about the same. I can see actually slightly lower, but that's for September, which is 43 days away. And for October, 72 days away, the synthetic forward is 28.61. I also get from IB the present value of dividend for the two expirations. So at the moment it's 0.3% and 0.42%, which is consistent with dividend yield as reported. So at the moment I've actually used it here. The estimate is 178 annualized. So we have already a lot of information. From the tickers page, I also, since I do have the IV, I can actually draw the IV curve. So I do draw a line. I put IV. A lot of traders trade more puts than calls. So Basically, what I want is to record the ATM IV, and for the OTM strikes, the line, the linear regression line that goes through most points. This is pretty valid. At least it is valid OTM. So I can see now in low IV we have already, if I just select the puts, you can see that we already have some smirk. The vol smile is picking up a bit earlier than we usually have. That's typical to a low IV environment. So the next step will be to actually record a full vol surface so that we can have actually better projections. At the moment, this is a very good model for the T+0 on EIO-IO. So this is basically what we have from the IBTWS. What is also interesting is the ability to have a pricer. So this pricer comes with 4 combos up to 8 lines, but you can just copy paste as many as you want, and you can also add lines if you wish. This is quite simple. Do not change the structure, because something you may not see is that actually I extract from the tickets page from the field number on the tickets page. So this is how it comes, and it comes live. So at the moment, for example, this combo for October is priced that much. What we can also calculate is based on the DTE. We can use the IV that comes from IB, or my calculated IV, or a model IV. So the model IV is something I'm working on, and it will be basically used a lot more for projecting the T+7, T+N up to expiration. So this is how it looks. In a separate video, I'm going to show how this information then feeds into another spreadsheet, also live data, to actually model the position in 3D, calculating all the Greeks for this type of combo. So you can have as many. At this point, only the first combo feeds into the options matrix, but more can be done. It's actually pretty easy. Okay, that's it for now. I just wanted to make it short. On the next videos, I'm going to go through what exactly needs to be done to get going. Of course, the first thing that will be needed is to get, you will have an enablement code that is unique to your computer, and I need to send users a registration code, and if it shows to registered, all features will be enabled. So I will go through all these buttons. Basically, it's quite simple. It's basically connecting, now and then checking if the connection is still okay. Then you go to option chains and you request all data, and then it starts calculating everything for you. So if you have any comments, please do not hesitate to, below this YouTube video, you can actually send comments so that I can maybe polish it up a bit before it is actually released, by, hopefully, as I said, by end of August. Okay, bye for now.